Am I doing this right? I mean, surely one of those reactions has to be good enough for the thumbnail. I don't know. Normally, I just react to things like this. So, the WandaVision trailer was released by Disney Marvel a few days ago, and people seem confused. What the heck is going on here exactly? Well, I'm going to leave the MCU breakdown rumors and Easter eggs and things like that to the people who are really good at that stuff. And instead, I'm going to offer you just a bit of psychology into a potential problem that I see. One that I hope will remain simply a potentiality and never an actuality. Now, if you look at the bottom of the official Marvel release YouTube trailer, you're going to see some comments that leave you feeling that people are going into this with negative feelings already. And I have my suspicions about why that is. Let me explain. Now, Wanda and Vision's relationship by the end of Infinity War / Endgame was actually a really enjoyable part of the MCU. People liked them. They liked the way that Vision evolved from this entity that didn't quite know what to do with humanity, but he saw something beautiful in us, to this being that embraced what we, at least in poetry, tend to value the most in life. Things like intimacy, love, devotion. One of my favorite scenes in Infinity War is when Wanda is faced with that final moment that she knows she has to destroy Vision, but she doesn't want to. And Vision attempts to remove all guilt from her about his destruction. There's this sacrificial note of love there that transcends the bounds of most superhero films and becomes something almost Shakespearean, that Wanda is the one who has to destroy him for the sake of the rest of the world. But in doing so, she loses the one thing that she loves the most. Now, obviously, time stone happens, right? We all know this. But you still appreciate the amount of genuine affection that the two of them display. So let's fast forward to the WandaVision trailer. We are given what appears to be throwbacks to past television shows, right? Things like Bewitched, Brady Bunch. And these are all meant to connect you with scripted television, but also these are shows that were incredibly successful at simultaneously embracing nostalgia and yet forcing the audience to experience the occasional moment of chaos. When you utilize pop culture this way, you automatically begin to create connections for your audience, good and bad. And at the same time, you introduce an element of storytelling that can be at times overpowering, having to stay too close to the pop cultural elements for any real story to develop beyond the occasional cheap joke. And there are some cheap jokes in that trailer. Now, when you do create a storyline that is closely tied to pop cultural elements like the ones we see in the trailer, you can set your audience up for tremendous psychological breaks on the part of your characters when things never quite line up in just the right way. Things are definitely a bit off on the trailer. It's like thinking that you could have sworn you left your keys on the table by the door like you always do, but they aren't there. For some reason, that moment makes us feel as though everything is off, and that creates an uneasiness within us. My guess is that we're going to get the latter, a feeling of uneasiness. But is that a good thing? Well, it depends. I believe that in order for this show to be successful, it can't just be about, moments of creepy psychological breaks. There has to be elements that harken back to the genuine love, genuine sacrifice that we witnessed in the previous phase of the MCU. We have to enjoy them together. If we get the human payoff like that at the end, I think we'll all be fine. However, if we are left with just a broken Wanda and Vision, I don't think that fans will be happy. And that means that Disney / Marvel's bank accounts might not be as happy as they once were either.